Hey, we back again, guys, here in Chapel Hill. Another episode, Pro League News. Today we got a special guest, Tony Chowdhury, owner of Fusion Gym, and here visiting us, taking a look at what we got going on here in Chapel Hill.
Everybody's talking about in the United States.
That's it, that's it. And of course we got Mike here, Mike Ratina here, owner of Goals here with us as well. Love to sit down and talk with you today and ask you some questions, man. Get to know you a little bit, your projects, what you got going on, and go from there, man.
Okay.
Towards you guys.
Well, I knew Tony since, 10 years ago?
16 years ago.
16 years ago. He was one of my high volume sales guys. Yeah. And Tony can sell ice to an Eskimo. So I'm not surprised he's at where he's at and building a career in the fitness industry. So we got started again, 15, 16 years ago. Saw him pop up, started getting into the gym business. We reconnected. Those beautiful lights is a gift from Tony that he gifted me with.
That's where it came
So we'll talk about that. Tony just doesn't have gyms. He's involved in an equipment company, which is badass, called Relentless. Mm-hmm. Lighting, fixtures, anything in the gym. Give us more detail on that, about what you kind of provide to the industry right now.
Yeah, so we're a one-stop shop for gym owners. So it doesn't matter if you have a studio, it doesn't matter if you're building a home gym or a full-size commercial facility, anywhere from 10,000 all the way up to 100,000 square foot facility. We can fit out an entire gym. It's not just the equipment that we just fit out though. We do custom turfing, mirrors,
flooring,
LED lights, reception desk, lockers, saunas, steam rooms, pretty much everything you need A to Z for a gym. But the biggest thing is it's all bespoke. It's made uniquely, specifically custom tailored for your facility. We'll give you a 2D and a 3D rendering free of charge for essentially anyone that wants to build a club. But the biggest thing is we sell factory direct. So we're partners with a lot of the factories that manufacture our equipment, manufacture all of our flooring, our lighting. So you're gonna get factory direct prices. So you're gonna save 20, 30%. And all of you guys know, if you're building a gym, 20, 30% on a $2, $3, $4 million build is gonna save you $3, $4, $5, $600,000 on your construction costs. And every dollar you save is savings you can pass along to the customer by decreasing the barrier to entry.
Yeah, nice. Awesome, man.
So Tony, how did you get into this? A lot of guys, you're still a young guy in the industry, right? You've been doing it a while. You started really young. For how old were you when you worked with me? 19?
19.
19.
Yeah.
So you started young.
Yeah.
How was your journey in the industry? A lot of guys that are going to watch this they want to be in the fitness industry. They want to be a gym owner.
Yeah.
They want to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So how did you get into it, and how did you, accelerate throughout these last couple of years?
We'll start off with, in life, it's not what you don't have that stops you. It's what you think you need. And it's not who you're not, it's who you think you're not. Most of us fail in our heads. You know what I mean? A lot of us, they see obstacles where there are opportunities. When I wanted to build my gym, let's say when I was 18 years old, I had a dream, just like every 18-year-old kid that works out, that has a huge passion for fitness, that wants to build a gym. Right? We look into how much it costs to build a facility. Well, I didn't have the money to build a gym. Then I got a job in personal training sales. I became really, really, really good at it. I was a top sales guy at Mike's company. And then I wanted to start my own personal training business. Find yourself someone in life that you want to model yourself after, right? So I kind of modeled my business after Mike because I already saw Mike doing it. Mike had a personal training company, but he didn't own any of his own facilities. He found facilities that he would pay rent to, and he would get to keep 100% of the revenue. I said, well, if it works for him, shit, it'll work for me, right?
Yeah.
So, but the hardest part was finding a gym that would say yes to me. So I cold called literally 100 different gyms within literally like a 80-mile radius of my house. The reason I chose 80 miles, it would take me an hour and a half to get to work, hour and a half back. I can work 12, 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. Almost
so
every
you had a plan.
Had a plan.
You didn't just I'm going to call a gym and hopefully they...
Yeah, so I would call and I would offer them rent to be a trainer in their facility. 9 times out of 10, they would hang up. I would just call back later in the day when someone else was on the staff because I knew what I was offering was great. Most gym owners don't give a fuck about PT or don't even know how to monetize it. I just needed to get in front of the decision maker. So I would call the same club 3, 4 times a day until I got through to someone that would say yes.
Is that why you call your company Relentless?
Yeah. Yeah. We'll talk about that in a second, right? So long story short, a gym. Name of the gym? Gold's Gym. It was a Gold's Gym in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know.
Wound up saying yes. It was Chris Krieger. He owned I think like a dozen gyms at the time. The reason I kept calling that gym is because I knew if I got my foot in one gym, I'd get in the rest.
Yeah.
Right?
Now you got credibility.
Exactly. So I actually started Fusion with $700 16 years ago. I incorporated the company for $700. I sat in front of Chris. I sold him on me and who I was as an entrepreneur. Life's all about sales. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And most people, they don't realize that they're in sales, which is why they're not good at it.
Yeah.
But the greatest asset
skill.
is
Scared of
Yeah.
sales.
It's a skill, man.
Yeah.
anyone that wants to accomplish anything, first person you have to sell is yourself, then your friends, your family, your coworkers, and your loved ones, and why you can do it. And you got to sell yourself every single day that you're going to make it, no matter what. So I got in the door. I incorporated the business for $700. Within 6 months, I make my first 150 grand. Following year, I do 300. Year after that, I do $500,000. Then right around when I was 25 years old, I saved enough money where I was like, oh, you know what? I'm tired of thinking about it. I want to actually go ahead and build this gym. It took me 8 years to believe in myself that I could actually do it. It took 8 years to make that decision. Even with all that
Everyone
experience
wants to
that
do
I
it
had.
quickly, and that's,
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of reason why people fail.
Yeah.
Because they don't see success overnight.
They're trying to, it's because Instagram is full of highlight reels. You see the end result, but you don't see all the effort that goes into it. So a lot of people, they're seeing me now, they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Well, I've been around for 16 years. You just now noticed me. You just now heard of me. So I found a gym that was failing. A long story short, I sold the landlord and give me the facility for free. I put $25,000 down as a deposit, paid my first month's rent. I got 6 months rent free. I got the existing owners of the facility to be able to leave the equipment because they owed the landlord an X amount of dollars in back due rent. So they got to walk away from the liability. I got the facility fully built out. I had a track record already that I'm not just gonna blow smoke up your ass, get in this space and then close as well. I was making $500,000 a year as a personal trainer. So then I used that as a report card to sell them on me. I got my first space. Within my first year, it was a 9,000 square foot club. So just imagine a gym half this size. We made $1 million. I made my first million when I was 25 years old. I was like, oh, shit worked. So I did it 3 more times. Okay, so within 1 year, I had 4 gyms at the age of 26. But in business and in life, you don't know what you don't know. And every mistake you make, when you have 4 gyms, just multiply by 4 times.
Yeah.
So my entire business was built on personal training. Fusion gyms used to just be $5 a month.
I remember, yeah.
The goal was to just get them through the door. I'm gonna sell them fucking training, okay? So like our first gym, we netted almost $1 million just on training. We did a second club, we did 5. Following club, we did 3 too, because there was only one
So
Tony.
I
I
was
was not.
volume in, and
Yeah.
kind of like how I did with the retro model.
But as you scale up, there's not 4 Tonys, just one. And so in the personal training business, there's a reason you got out of it. Why? It's a service-driven business. It's such a hard business. Why? Is because you're dealing with people all day long. You're not doing something that's scalable. Gyms, they're scalable.
They are.
Products, they're scalable. People are not scalable. Yes, you can build systems to develop great people, but at the end of the day, they're gonna wanna go chase their dreams. So eventually, as the trainer, they think that, well, I'm the entire business.
Yeah.
They decide to leave, they take their clients with them, and now you're back to
Square
square one. You're fucked, right? So we did this for a few years. I said, you know what, fuck this. I gotta start over. So I sold 2 of the gyms, I closed 2 of the gyms. I took all the money that I had and some of the equipment from two of the gyms I closed, and I built our Grand Ave location back in 2016. And literally, for 2 years, it was a fucking grind. But remember, every time you start over, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting with experience. So I had all these
less mistakes.
Yeah, I had all this experience underneath my belt. That gym now makes more money, probably 5 times as much money as all 4 of those gyms combined. So again, it's tough times. They never last, guys. Just tough people do.
What is one of your biggest pitfalls that you've had as a owner?
Trying to scale
of a
too
gym?
fast.
Okay, that's fair.
More gyms doesn't
I
mean more
went through
money.
the my story
More
is
gyms
very
is not more
similar.
money.
I had 150 locations I did PT for, but I lost 1 account. And when you lose 1 account, you have a whole upper management that's in the field, and you build a relationship with them, so I'm still paying them. And then obviously the owners are getting smarter. They're like, whoa, maybe we can do this personal training thing. They start recruiting your employees. They start, when rent is up or contract's up, they start asking for more money because they see the success. That's where my business model was failing. It didn't know how to continue the success of the program without people trying to take it from us. So that's why I replanned and went into bricks and mortars. I'm like, I don't want to be ever thrown out of a club again because I'm making somebody too much money. Or them seeing dollar signs and keep raising the rent on me. People weren't signing 5, 10-year contracts to have a personal trainer in there. It was, oh, I'll give you a year, I'll give you 3. And at that time, I would take what I can get. And it was trying to find a business for me that nobody can throw me out of. Now, I brought my PT model in my own gyms. I'm sure you've done the same thing. I brought my retail model where I focus heavily on retail, supplements. So we sell more supplements than any gym chain that I've acquired. I look at their numbers and be like, they sell no supplements, they sell no personal training, and all they sell is gym memberships.
Yep.
I could take the same gym, make the gym membership break it even, but I'll make another $500,000 like we were doing in training or something like that.
Right.
Now my model's different. So, and again, scaling that and then putting the systems in and having an upper management team was key. But, you know, for us, where I failed and had to restart over, it was growing too fast and not having the infrastructure, like you said, to be able to hold things in place and be able to bulletproof the fact that owners were going to keep raising. I never thought, you know, they were going to keep raising these rents on me. When the pandemic hit, everyone needed to find a way to make more money. Where'd they go after? Personal training company. So my model wasn't bulletproof, it wasn't recession-proof.
Right. Now, both of you guys have extremely successful, you know, clubs, right?
Yeah.
What is, you know, talk to me about what it is to build a good team around you know, to do this. I mean, you guys are strong on your own, right?
Yeah.
But what is,
I couldn't do half of what I do without my VP, some of my GMs. I don't want to sit here and run a club. Me and him are entrepreneurs.
That's right.
We want to find the next location. We want to find the next business real estate deal. I like designing and building this from nothing. When you walked in here, everyone, it was nothing. It was an ugly gym.
Awards here.
You know, yeah. So we just got some awards on this gym last year from Gold's Corporate. But for me, it's obviously, I think, to build a strong infrastructure, you gotta have a good right hand man, a good left hand man. You have to have a good corporate back end, good accounting, financials, reporting. I can look at my business from anywhere if I have the right reporting, and I manage my financials. How have you been able to grow as fast as you with multiple businesses?
Yeah.
We both own multiple businesses. How are you able to focus on the gyms, focus on the equipment, the lighting fixture company? How are you able to do that? Do you have a good team around you?
Yeah, I mean, I think all great businesses have to have a team. See, a company is not a logo.
No.
A company is not a building. A company is the people that are running it.
Absolutely.
The difference between $1 million company and $1 billion company is people, process, products. The first P is the people. Having a strong team, being able to pour into your people, not just working them like a slave, but treating them like a partner. So as we grow, you grow. As the revenue grows, you grow. All of our compensation packages for our general managers are tied to the club. As the club does well, they do well. They don't just have a fixed salary, but also all of our managers are promoted from within. So we don't hire outside managers. So someone literally working at the front desk can climb the ranks into being a general manager, being an operations manager,
that's key.
being a district manager. Like we just recently promoted Kevin. Kevin started as a janitor 5 years ago. He's now an operations manager, making $50,000 a year as a 21, 22-year-old kid. But again, he's put in the time, he's put in the energy, he's poured into the company. But the biggest thing is putting people first and profit second, putting your team first, putting your clients first, putting your customer experience first. The money will come. It will follow you around like a shadow that doesn't leave your side if you do not focus on the money. Focus on the people, focus on the experience, focus on building something bigger than yourselves. Value.
The value.
To your customers and to your team.
Yep.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Yep. Value brings profit. Easy.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, some of my managers now partners in clubs.
Absolutely.
They have equity.
Absolutely.
We don't want them to leave. You find someone good, you got to invest in them. And I think that's where a lot of people in business sometimes get greedy. They don't realize what got them there. And I think for me in the past, like you said, we were the company. I had to really develop people to be me or to share in it with me, where I think I focused more on that this second time around for me was let me give up a little more to make a little more in a sense. And I started realizing as I've been able to bring guys in as partners, and I don't have to go sit in their club anymore.
No.
I don't have to go, staff for them or hire the PT manager and develop them. These guys are invested.
Yep.
So for me, it's, giving a little more to get a little more. I always believe in the give to get model.
Yeah.
For me. But it's worked, and I'm able to, I want to retire, as I get older. I want to see other guys run the company. I want a CEO to take over. Those guys I got to build within the company. And in these general managers that I have running these clubs that treat it like ownership, they know as that club, I share the profits of them. I show that as the club grows, their check keeps on going up.
Yeah.
I think a lot of owners where they fail in the past, they're too frugal.
Yeah.
You know, they're too.
Keep all the money for themselves.
Yeah.
They don't reinvest it back into the gym or into their people.
I always add new equipment.
Yeah.
I'm always like I see you keep on adding new things. You're not just adding things. You're putting outdoor playgrounds.
I saw
mean,
that. That was
I'm
dope,
just trying to throw
man.
some
Outside
equipment in here. He's putting a $500,000 playgrounds outside. Lounges. I mean, people like when you go to your gym, you can. They got barber shops. They got a restaurant.
it's a whole new thing. I'm like,
It's like you're making it in a place like they don't need to leave. They can sit there for 3 or 4 hours and spend money, right?
Yeah. It's a
Is that
vertically
kind of your
integrated
business
business
model for Fusion.
Yeah, it's a vertically integrated business, right? So like people that work out, they also eat, right?
Yep.
People that work out, they also get haircuts. People that work out, they want
like
a
to
place
look
to
good.
hang out. They like to look good. They like to feel good. So it's a vertically integrated business. We're not just a gym. We're an experience in and of itself. The gym is not the easiest place in the world to go, right? Number one, if you're a beginner, it's not. Number two, even for someone as advanced as us, there's days where you don't want to fucking work out. But if you make it a place where you want to go, and once you get here, you're not going to want to leave, you got a winning formula. No one can fuck with you. No one can compete with you because that's no longer your gym. That's your place. There's 3 places in a person's life. There's home, there's work, and then there's your place. We're building their place.
I like that.
Yeah. Good.
I always tell people, and a lot of them, they're like, "What's Cheers?" We got to be the Cheers. You know, everybody knows
Everybody
your name.
yeah.
You know, and I always tell unfortunately, this generation, they're like, "What's Cheer? What show is that?" I said, "Go Google it." But some of my guys have been around for a while. Nick, you know, as we grew up, it was a show that bar was successful because when you came in there, it was your community, it was your it was your bar. Everybody knew your name, and that's how I try to train my front desk. It's hi. They don't have a job if they can't say hi and bye. They don't have a job, you know, if they can't smile. That's the 3 things I focus on extremely is 4 things. And then, you know, giving your special out of the day. They have a script. You know, they come in, it's hi, how are you doing? Have a great workout. And they greet everybody by their first name. First thing when it pops up in that computer is Joe. Joe, and they're like, how'd you know my name? They don't know the name's right there sometimes. And that's an experience. You know, you go on a planet at $9.99, you're gonna get a $9.99 experience. You know, so that's how you're able to charge more. That's how you put nicer facilities. You can't build facilities like me and him do, charging $9 and giving a $9 experience. You got to go there and be like, wow, I haven't felt like this in my community. I haven't felt like this in this area. I'm going to stay here. And that's the hardest thing to do, I think, in the gym business is keep your members. You know, if you spend more time and invest into that, you'll never go to business. But most gym owners, or like in LA Fitness, they'll go build these nice gyms, but then you see the dirtiness, you see the
They
reviews.
put dick into the people. They put nothing.
They pay their employees. They don't know who their employees are. They don't know the manager, the turnover. And then the community sees like a different manager, a different front desk person,
Every
a
week.
dirty gym, you know, things that you see in the news about things that happen in the locker rooms or fights. And, you know, next thing you know, nobody wants to know. It feels different when they walk into that gym.
They don't invest into their culture. They invest into facilities.
Correct.
They don't invest into the people, which builds the culture.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's a different thing for them. And I think that's why we'll be successful, and you'll see our businesses keep growing. You know, we've gone just from 2020 from 1 gym to 13. You know, one of his gyms is like 3 of my gyms, the size of it. So, and he's going in his 3rd and 4th gym, and these are massive projects, not like the projects I'm doing. And the reason why we're here, guys, is, you know, we're collaborating on some projects and utilizing Tony's experience on, you know, some of his finishes and things he's done. Not trying to emulate Fusion, because that's not my product, but teaming up with a guy that understands my mindset, understands the vision I have with equipment. I want to bring unique products, and he's creating these unique products that I want in my gym. So I think you're going to see a lot of collaboration from us, the synergy. We're going to go around to some gyms today. You're going to see some of that footage of what we're doing to these clubs. And I got clubs that go from 20,000 to 50,000 square feet. And you're going to see the differences and the differences in the projects that we're doing. So, and Tony's going to be a part of that. And you got to have good people around you. It's not just employees. When you network, you know, and you're an entrepreneur, you got to find like-minded people to network with and feed off of. And I think that creates our synergy. So it's great having you, brother.
Good to have you, man. Good to meet you, man.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, we signing out, guys. Stay tuned. All the updates. We'll have some good footage here of all the visits we'll do today, and See y'all next time, bro. Later.